Welcome to this new reading. This one is called I Spy with my little eye. Not I as an eye, but just, sometimes it's hard for us to actually see where we impact others and what our probably special fractals of light are that comes through our awareness and like the way we bring love into the collective and like the good stuff, the big stuff that sometimes we're not able or maybe just a bit shy to see in ourselves. Most of the times we actually probably don't even see it and aren't even in contact with the way we influence others, the way we impact each other. So instead of focusing on what's to improve and what's hard and whatnot, this reading actually is supposed to just like put a focus on your resources instead. And like by emphasizing the resources, we also gain more energy to face what comes up, to be with hard stuff, to like it's like when we fuel our resources, we actually have more energy and light and whatnot. So we can put that anywhere. And if we are on that path of unwounding and developing ourselves, letting energy flow back into our resources is actually super helpful. So first of all, again, this is a reading that's kind of based on the approach of sacred self-gravity. So everything I say, just see how, like what comes up within you, how do you react to that, and where do those reactions come from? What's there to discover? What's there to be witnessed? So first of all, you could like check in with yourself why you were drawn to a reading that emphasizes seeing your own light, being reflected in others, being reflected somewhere in your life. And probably there's this question like, to what degree can you yourself see your light? To what degree are you aware of the impact you have on others? Where do you probably feel you're not completely seeing yourself? Where do you feel you need to replenish your resources? Maybe there is something coming up around how your standard attitude towards yourself is one of like, I need to improve something, focusing on probably the areas that are a little more difficult or challenging within yourself. Probably this is now already giving you some info on how you see yourself and how you could be seeing yourself. So this as a brief intro, let's get to it. Let's see what you probably don't see so much. And by acknowledging that within yourself, you might even feel more prepared to also see the good stuff in others, but as a reflection of yourself instead of like some sort of competition or scarcity-based mindset. Yes. So we have 3 piles again. So intuitively, you might already have started speaking to the one that speaks to you. So 1, 2, 3. And we are gonna start with the number 1. So I put 2 and 3 away for later. There you go. Pile number 1. What are you not seeing about yourself? What beautiful fractal of light, of love is coming into the collective through you being you. Okay, already starts here. So what we can see here is that there's a lot of stability actually that you bring into the world. We have the Empress and we have the Four of Pentacles. So a lot of earth energy. So there's grounding going on here. What you bring to the collective or what you probably bring into your friendships or what like people draw from your field is kind of an energy of being grounded, of being rooted, stability, maybe also an energy of like being able to enjoy the earthly life. So maybe there's something to your energy that is encouraging people to actually allow themselves more pleasure and, yeah, to actually be with what they desire and to kind of like allow themselves to enjoy this earthly experience. And for me, like Pentacles is not only the earthly realm, but like the interface between the subtle realm and the manifest world. So with the 4 here, which like 4 is always an energy of like stability, it might also mean that there's something within your auric field, within your energy field, that helps others to connect the grounded experience, the human experience, with the more subtle world, like the connection between human and divine somehow. And it feels as if your energy is really, yeah, like there is this quality of immanence as compared to transcendence. So, as if you are opening up channels to the divine by being fully human and by allowing yourself to be fully human. And so, what does an empress do? She's actually in charge of her like queendom, um, but in a way that, like, I feel like in society, king and queen kind of like got messed up because there are like power dynamics and there is like egoic stuff going on with like the desire for power and then using it for egoic purposes. But this quality I'm sensing here is rather the original form of this like governing energy, which is taking care of those who are, um, yeah, who are living in your queendom. So there's a nurturing quality also, yeah, that also thrives on being nourished. So it's, yeah, there's a quality of allowance, as if a quality that kind of flows through your auric field is allowing others to also soak it in, to receive, to enjoy. And yeah, I guess that's it for the moment. So let's see what other impulses are there for this energy that you are conveying. So we got the Lady of Great Power, and I feel like this is again very much the Empress energy, I feel. So it feels as if you are like the backbone of some of your friendships or the backbone of like your social field, as if people really draw strength from being in contact with you. And I really encourage you to, if like that sounds weird to you right now, you have difficulty receiving it or probably seeing it in playing out in your life, I really invite you to open your heart, because sometimes we're kind of like allergic to something that feels big to be said about us, to be witnessed in us. So I invite you to really let that sink in, and maybe that's something that wants to come through for you outside of that reading. Once you're back in your social surroundings and stuff like that. So I invite you to just listen with a curious heart and see what gets triggered within you, and probably even the links you are already making, and to trust that. To trust that people receive this energy from you. You are bringing this stability, this also sort of willpower. It's like there's much confidence. There's like, yeah, this backbone energy to me feels like, yeah, stability. I already mentioned that, but also like a kind of being rooted in confidence, almost even unwavering confidence. And maybe you don't feel like that at the moment, but this is definitely something that others kind of sense around you. So yeah, just open up and see where you will witness it. Aha. And now we have the new moon in Capricorn here. And Capricornian energy is also like earthly energy. And there is this, this power to move forward. Also, Capricorn is a very structured energy that also gives a lot of stability. And it, like with this phrase here, your hard work is paying off. It's, maybe you're in this tendency to kind of like, wanting to improve all the time. And maybe that's even why we're drawn to this reading that actually focuses on your resources and kind of replenishes that. But this willpower of yours is actually something that gave you all the stability that's already there. And maybe this is an invitation to pause for a little moment and to really acknowledge and also honor yourself that actually you created all this energy of stability that now is being that now is radiating from your field into the field of others. So instead of always focusing on, I first need to reach that and that and that and that in order to be more of what I just heard or be more of that what I want to be, maybe that's an invitation right now, right here, to really see how far you've already come with all these energies and with this hard work or commitment, I would rather say. Sometimes hard work already has kind of a negative connotation of exhausting ourselves, and it might have been exhausting, but I feel there's a lot of commitment. So you can also acknowledge yourself for being so committed and for being so straightforward, which creates great power within you and around you. Wow. Okay. Now this one is called femininity, and I feel this is very much connected with the Empress energy. And you might be listening to me saying that in every single reading, but always I'm so flashed by the way the cards actually come together and create their own narrative so clearly and so profoundly, and even like the matching colors over here. I just love that. So femininity in this context, to me, is like a reminder that this power and this strength that you own and radiate, that it's not only about the hustle, but rather about the grounding and this confidence that comes from within. It doesn't necessarily need to be like that you have this very tidy life with everything set up and everything structured and very young, but rather this yin energy is that there's so much inner support system, inner guidance, that this inner guidance is what kind of makes you so like resolute and confident and grounded. So there is a lot of yin energy here in a way that there's really this power there in that yin. And this card. And again, we kind of stay in that purple color scheme. This one is peace. So I feel this is also something that radiates from you. And maybe sometimes you feel a lot of like undercurrents going on, also with being connected to the feminine side so much. But still, this is a quality people get from your field. And maybe you want to see, like not in a way of like putting pressure onto yourself or needing to accomplish something or whatnot, but rather like kind of lean into that quality even more. Like, how can I be even more at peace within myself? How can I be even more at peace within my relationships? Like this yin energy it's taking like speed out of a situation. It's like slowing down. So while there's all this commitment and focus going on, maybe there is you can even like deepen your connection to all these energies within yourself by taking some tempo out, slowing it down a little notch, and really sense into that. And this reading might even be an invitation to do just that, to kind of even further become able and render yourself able to see those qualities within you. And then this one is from a holy geometry, which I really love. And I feel again we have like similar colors. And so it says that there is light coming into the matter, and it's coming from the mind into thoughts, words, and like alignment. It's as above, so below, as in the most little, so in the biggest. And I feel, or in the largest, and I feel with this light into matter, we are again, we are landing somewhere close to the Four of Pentacles. Because I feel with your connection, and you might not even be totally aware of that connection that you're having, but it is definitely there. And it connects realms. And you might not be completely aware of that, but this is definitely something you inspire others to. It's as if you are bridging that in the fields of others, probably even. Might happen totally unconsciously without you or the other being aware of that, without like words being exchanged around that. But there's something within your energy that opens up those connection channels between the subtle realm and the manifest world. Yeah. Maybe even by like setting an example on how to manifest, how to influence the material world through your inner state, through your inner trust, through your inner stability. And wow, this is interesting. This card has shown up in the last reading, I think. The poet. And there is this artistic quality to it. And to me, this looks like there are two hands holding a moon. Again, we're in this yin energy. There is like a misty forest. There are the birds and all those colors. And I feel like with this, like holding the moon, it feels as if you have like built some solid foundation. It might not be like in the manifest world, but somehow within your emotional within your inner world, kind of, you have built stability to a certain degree, as if you are good at feeling or something. Or maybe you have like gone through a lot over there, and now there is this is actually where your strength come from. You can hold you can really hold your emotional world. You have the capacity to hold that, and this is something you inspire others to do as well. Okay, and then we have this little insight over here. And again, I feel here we have this connection of you being like between the subtle realm, the light world, and the manifest world, the earthly plane. And maybe this is something you connect with. Maybe this is something that has helped you to kind of become so fluent with your emotional world by taking out the time for meditation, for inner practices, for slowing down, for finding this inner peace. And it feels as if you have a routine of returning to that inner peace, which means that there might have been some upheaval with like feminine energies. It's also connected to the water, and there are waves in the water, and they can be pretty much overwhelming. And it feels as if you've already built quite a bit of a routine around that, which helps you ground, stabilize, and take on even more. And with that, you are an inspiration to the people around you. and it's something that just shines and simmers from your field into the others. So I invite you to really, take all that in, to make it even more, um, become even more aware of when you are in that Empress energy, when you are in that stable energy, and how you got there, and how you talk about it, how you refer to your inner world, also in like communication with others. You kind of see how this power comes through your field into the field of others. Yes. I hope you took something from this reading, and if so, please feel free to leave a comment, or just reach out if you have like any further questions. And I encourage you to just take that in, let it simmer, and see what it brought up within you. Is there resistance to really own that power that you definitely have? And if so, where does it come from? And sit in meditation probably with it, or invite that quality of peace, so you can really ground even deeper into these energies. Thank you so much for your attention, and enjoy. This brings us to pile number 2. And let's see what I spy with my little eye that you don't see about yourself just yet, or probably you don't allow yourself to see too much, or maybe are a little shy to fully own. Whatever it is, we will bring it forward together, and it's definitely there to support you and also the people around you, the people you are influencing. You might not even be aware of the degree to which you are doing that. Okay, so there's a lot around going on around stillness here. I mean, this is a position where there's not much movement, as well as over here where you can you are so still that it was even like a bird could even land on your head. So this is the Hanged One, and this is the Nine of Pentacles. And like with the stillness, it feels as if there's a quality to you that is able to stay in the present, and there's some deep patience within you. And even if you might be like you might now be like, huh, I'm not a patient person, I'm like the most impatient one, but actually sometimes it's like, even or especially the quality that we feel we don't have, we are working on that skill a lot. And so it might be that actually you have already a high level of patience compared to the collective, probably because you have already experienced so many situations where you kind of needed to be. So give yourself some credit. Even if you think of yourself as an impatient person, probably invite that perspective in that actually you do have a certain level of patience already, probably in situations where others might already be freaking out, and you can kind of stay calm, stay put, stay present with everything that's going on, and trust that everything will kind of unfold. So over here, I mean, this is a weird position, hanging upside down on a tree, being tied with that rope, but still look at that face. I'm going to turn it around so that you can see even better. This face is not upset. It's okay. And you can even see this halo around her head. So there is definitely some deep energy of trust, trust in the universe, trust in whatever is going on. It's gonna be fine, or it already is fine, even if it's not fine, but it's fine, if you know what I mean. It's a very calm energy. And for me also, the Hanged One always comes with this card to me talks about shifting perspective. So you might be really good at shifting perspective in a way that you can actually stay in situations, or trust that the situation you are put in is actually serving you, not the other way around. You're not like you are not by accident in any special situation that probably even requires your patience. But rather you are put there for a certain reason. You are put there to learn something about yourself, about the world, about a higher consciousness. For me, I feel with the halo, it's like there is some higher energy going on, like not just mundane, but also some kind of like spiritual, in terms of like becoming more awakened to a certain degree, to become more like, to come more online with the consciousness, something around that. And now we have a very grounded energy in the Nine of Pentacles. We see this girl with like being connected with the bird. To me, birds are also visions. So she's like receiving the vision. The vision has time to to land on her system, in her system. And she knows that those tomatoes, those vegetables in her garden, they will grow. So she's very rooted in that. She's trusting. She's aware that things might take some time, but they grow on their own, with her being like staying connected to that vision. So vision also is a kind of a perspective. So the energy that comes through you probably also is like, we've talked about this shift of perspective that you kind of bring with yourself. And maybe there's also, with your impatience or patience even, it's as if you have this energy of being very connected with your vision and staying connected with that, because other people might sometimes like lose the broader view, and you are there kind of, this broader view is just in your system. It's like both ways. It's from the upside to the downside and downside to upside. So it's as if like the energy of vision just radiates in your system. And not necessarily that you're super aware of that, but you're kind of naturally in touch with that. And like as if you're naturally in a kind of higher perspective on things, and there is this deep trust in life that everything happens for a reason, everything kind of has their silver linings, and you are kind of a pro of like putting those silver linings to good use, something like that. Yes, let's see, what else do we got? Hey, the Holy Lady of the Our Lady of Holy Fire. And yeah, I feel the fire energy is kind of like this inspirational energy of the vision, the bird, and that by staying connected to this perspective, the energy of inspiration is kind of what runs through you. So by you being you, by your way of looking at the world, this is something that others draw inspiration from. This is something that others kind of feel energized by even. So it's as if like you are so unaware of everything that goes on in the world, kind of beyond your own. And still there's this deep, deep, deep influence and impact your auric field has on others, which kind of in them creates probably trust in life, probably trust in their unique way of seeing the world. Yeah, there's a lot of like inspirational energy that radiates in your field. And there's definitely the invitation to allow yourself to see more of that even in yourself. So for you, it might be completely normal to see the world like you do, because that's just the way you look at it. But actually others are probably even like way more like captured by their probably a little more narrow worldview, seeing everything in a heavier way. And with this energy, there's a light quality within you that you bring into the life of others. And yeah, own that. It's beautiful. And maybe you've been called naive, um, or like a little like alien to the world, and actually that's your gift. Why do people criticize people for being naive? It's just because they probably have less trust in life. And not only that, like they probably anticipate worse stuff to happen, but actually for you, it doesn't matter which stuff happens, because you have this gift of changing perspective and putting things into this bigger context, and therefore, yeah, connecting with the silver linings. Very Piscean, yes. So we have the new moon in Pisces as an astrological archetype here, or pile number 2. And Pisces energy is kind of like being connected to all that there is. It's kind of the halo energy, and over here the bird, but also, yeah, bringing that into the ground, like being connected with all that is. And this energy for me also is what helps you to stay open to life, because with that attitude of like it's not happening against you, it's actually happening for you. And maybe there is this contemplative energy to you that you also might not be completely aware of, but probably you are a person that actually does reflect a lot, like spending time in the garden with the hands in the soil, like and not necessarily literally, but like figuratively. It might mean that, yeah, there is this connection to all there is by you being very good at being connected to the present moment. And sometimes there's a quality within us that we aren't aware of because we only have our awareness to perceive reality through. So we've never like changed with another awareness. Yeah, but maybe you can, like, by this reading, it might help you a little to see these qualities a little, yeah, more clearly within yourself. So by being connected to all that there is, it might help you to be more patient, in terms of, it doesn't necessarily mean you are patient in terms of like being good at waiting for stuff, but actually there's not even, probably for you, that's not even like waiting, because you know and you feel already that it's there. For example, with growing the vegetables, you know at some point there will be tomatoes. And so you don't need to have them now, because you just know of the cycles and the rhythms, but you know they are there. And like the tomato plants are already there, so they will eventually bear fruit, and this is the perspective kind of that you radiate. Ah, yes, this is relaxation, and makes perfectly sense with this energy, I feel. And also this is kind of the expression in this face, I feel. The very, like, yeah, relaxed energy, because you don't have to worry as much. And you might think that you're a person who worries, but probably compared to others, it's way less worrying than like the usual. Because you have this connection to all that there is that helps you shift perspective much more easily than probably others. It's as if there's a fluidity to your awareness that allows you to kind of quickly shift narratives, and therefore stay, yeah, being very good and sophisticated with, like, in staying in the present moment. Yeah, all that there wanted to come through. And over here we have the energy, the lover. I feel we can kind of feel the fire energy here. I feel those cards even kind of look alike. So, and fire for me is like, it's something like, if we go with the mythological approach, it's something that the gods gave the humans, and so it's spirit coming down into the human world. It's inspiration, and it's giving, yeah, impulses. It's giving it's like the seed of the vegetable somehow. So it's up to you what you do with it. And with this card, I feel like there's the central figure, and then there are others that are kind of looking at this figure. And I feel like you might not even remotely be aware of how much of an inspiration you are to the world. It might not even be people who are like super close to you, like friends or family. It also might be like a little more indirect, and you can see like this figurine is just like looking up, so it like they are not really aware of what's going on there. So it might be that there are like a lot of people who actually are influenced by the way you look at life, you look at everything without you even knowing. And which brings me to this one, which says like biofield, and it's about charisma. It's about how frequencies are being radiated and received in other fields. And it says like, yeah, pay attention to your very clear and radiant biofield. I'm not sure if I'm translating biofield right. I'm not sure if that's even a word. I don't even know the German word, but anyway. just let's leave it at that and see it like from a frequential perspective. So it feels very connected to what I just mentioned with the lovers, that actually there is this inspiration energy going on in your field by you being weird, probably even, or feeling like alien to your surroundings. And by you owning that, this is how those frequencies are actually transferred and transferred to the auric fields of others. And you're a charismatic person, even if you don't own that quality just yet, but you are, so you could also go ahead and own it. And here we have the archetype of the hunter. And I feel the hunter also, like, they go on their own and they move towards what they feel is important. And here you can see that it's kind of going towards the light, and this feels like your perspective. As if your perspective is kind of as if there's more elasticity to your way of looking at the world, so that you more easily and more quickly, because the hunter energy, there's a lot of tempo, there's a lot of speed in there. And also with the fire dynamics we have in this spread, it feels as if there is an energy of elasticity to the awareness that helps you shift perspective, and therefore like stay grounded in this relaxing energies. That for you, the hunter knows when to go and when to move, and there's no kind of waste of energies. It's rather like waiting and then making one specific move. And and like the eyes on the prize is what I'm getting there. So I feel this is connected to the energy of the vision we had with the 9 of Pentacles, as if like you are seeing this broader picture, and you know there will be prey at some point, and you're pulled by that. You just know that it will happen. And this is why, with all those features you consciously or unconsciously own, you're good at surrendering. And I feel you're even an example of doing that. You're an example of how to surrender. And this kind of rounds the circle. We end up back with the Hanged One, because the only, like, if you are kept in one place for whatever reason, you can either fight it or you surrender. And I feel like you actually are a pro in surrendering. And it might not feel that way. Again, okay, that was in the beginning. I mentioned the patience, and that you might not you might feel like an impatient person, even though your level of patience is already way above average. And same goes for the surrendering. So you might feel that surrendering is something that is difficult, but check the level on which you are working on that skill of surrendering. You might already be like level 3000. And of course, like that's a level where it might feel hard, but yeah, just see for yourself how accomplished you already are with like this active move of surrendering. Yes, that's it for pile number 2. I hope there was a lot of good stuff for you in there, a lot of encouragement for what you are, a lot of eye-opening information to kind of allow yourself more of who you are, and to enhance those frequencies that charismatically are dispersing from your auric field into the fields of others. So yeah, that's it for now. I'd like to hear from you how the messages landed in your system. It's also good for you if you feel like, it's actually, this is a basis for self reflection. So the invitation always is to kind of see what did it bring up within you, what felt nourishing, and why did it feel nourishing? Are you probably denying yourself seeing that in yourself? Are you probably a little shy? Are you very self critical and therefore kind of narrowing or wanting to kind of narrow the way those energies are expressing in yourself? And yeah, and I look at that spread like right now. First of all, again, we have a lot of like yellow, which is also the self-confidence energy. And also I feel like there's a lot of movement. So even though the situation might seem like confined to a certain location, within your consciousness there's so much movement in a relaxed, fluent way. Yes. I'm gonna stop now. I could like go on with that. I love that spread, so I hope you do too. And yeah, that's it. Pile number 2. Oh, pile number 3. Let's see what's in store for you. So let's first ask their tarot. I spy with my little eye. What are you not admitting to yourself what you're actually really good at? Okay, this is interesting. So we have the Hierophant, which sometimes is a little like challenging to kind of access because it's like very much subtle energies. It's it used to kind of be in a religious context. But over here, I feel like you can see that there are people coming like for the Hierophant to kind of speak truth, to kind of enlighten them, to kind of awaken them probably. And the Hierophant, you can see that the eyes are kind of rolling up. It's as if like this person is looking into another realm. They're not fully in this world, so they kind of have access to to some higher consciousness, probably to some higher truth, and they kind of bring that down. And I love the 3 of Pentacles here, and I love that in all piles. And like, you probably only watched this one, but let me tell you that in all piles we actually had a major arcana and a pentacle card. So pentacle to me is always kind of the interface between it's like bringing forth in the manifest world what wants to come through the soul. So it's kind of linking the planes of existence. And with the 3 of Pentacle, it's about joint forces. It's about collaboration. It's about having this wisdom, this inner wisdom that for each task there is the perfect person to do it, and that you yourself don't have to do everything by yourself. And to kind of to have this there's some vastness in the awareness, and there is like spaciousness that comes from knowing that talents can mingle, that you probably have like stuff that you're really good at, and then you don't need to be a pro in everything, because it's enough that you focus on what you're good at. And probably something that you're good at has to do with accessing a higher truth, probably even being some sort of a teacher. And you might not like that. You might have some allergy to being a teacher because you don't want to have a hierarchy. And this card is about collaboration. It's actually not a hierarchy. It's not better or worse if you bring in that perspective, that higher truth. Like, bringing in the higher truth doesn't mean that you're like better than the people who then apply the higher truth. It's this collaboration. It's how those forces are intertwined and mingling, because somebody comes up with the plan, and then somebody comes up with how to implement the plan, and somebody really wants to work with their hands and therefore is eager to do the concrete stuff that is coming from the implementation of the plan. So we need all those various parts, various segments of this chain in order to the whole process to move forward. So maybe you are afraid of hierarchical energies, and therefore you are not allowing to see for yourself that actually you have this role of kind of seeing the bigger picture, coming up with a plan, and being a very influential person. And it's applying this influence doesn't mean that you are superior. It really doesn't. You can let go of that fear if that's a fear of yours. And maybe by letting go of that hierarchical thinking, you become more aware of your deep, deep, deep influence, because there's some deep wisdom coming through you. And by acknowledging the fact how everything plays together, you might find it a little easier to allow yourself to connect with that influence. And as I said, with her, like with the eyes of the person being kind of rolled up, it's not like you're not there to, and there's no tendency within your system to use this influential energy that you have for egoic purposes. You don't need to be afraid of that. It's just something that wants to come through you, and it's not better or worse than stuff that comes through others. This is just what happens to come through you, so let it come. And this spread when the impulse came to kind of replenish the resources and kind of have yourself see yourself even more. The reason why it's sometimes important for us to really be more seeing ourselves more is to more freely share this gift. And my worldview is that actually everybody is here to be themselves, and by being themselves radiates a certain frequency, a certain fractal of unconditional love into the greater whole. And so when we are holding back, we are kind of like limiting the energy or the facet of love that wants to shine through us. So maybe this gives you some food for thought and some little nudge towards accepting those qualities within you a little more, to have them dissipate through your field a little more. And this one is the Lady of Quiet Blossoming. I feel this is very much connected to the Hierophant energy. Quiet blossoming. It's like there is, maybe you are not like, maybe you are rather introverted to a certain degree, or maybe that's what society might make you believe, because you probably say less and observe more. And actually, this is where you gain your wisdom from. So there's no need to be any different than you are. There's no need to be more social or anything. Because within this quiet space within yourself, this is how you access this deeper state somehow, and this is how you can see through people somehow. That's how I feel, as if you know a lot and you understand a lot, and this comes from retreating to this quiet place within yourself. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, so this is the cardinal moon. Be bold and make the first move. And with making the first move and being bold, I feel this is speaking very much to what I just shared with, that's probably very important for you to allow yourself to own that that teacher role, and not in terms of like, better, but just like to make the first move in terms of sharing your wisdom and allowing yourself to own that influence that you have. And the boldness energy to me also feels like kind of I don't know, it's for me it's connected to those two pillars. It's as if the boldness gives you the space to really stay connected to what you can perceive, which might be very different from the way the others see a certain situation. So maybe we can see that here, or like it's a bit abstract, so I want to make it a little more concrete by an example. So over here, you can see what does this person see? She's probably very much connected to, okay, I'm in that pose and I'm trying to stay in that pose, and oh, I hope I don't move, and what's she painting? How will the painting look in the end? And this woman is very connected to observing her and just focusing on the details, on the forms and shapes of her body and all of that. And then we have this person who kind of is on the outside, and this kind of is connected to this card and also the quiet blossoming. So she's kind of on the outside, and she sees everything. She sees everything that's going on in between the two of them. She can even see what the painting is becoming. And so you have this I don't know, a bit retreated from the nitty-gritty. Probably you are not so much like in the situations that go on between people. And but there is this very detail-oriented, precise way of seeing situations. And you don't need to be afraid of your preciseness, because it's what people need. Like, she kind of consults on this. So by this precise observing, she can actually guide and help. Yes. Oh, sorry. I just love that. Service. Yeah. So the idea why you have like this like teacher air around you is actually to be of service. There's no hierarchy. You're serving with whatever you see and perceive. And so this is like the light that comes through. And I feel also with that card, I don't know, maybe I'm very much in the projecting game right now, but I feel this is kind of where she's looking. With her eyes turned up, she kind of sees different spheres, and it's more abstract, and it's like rather patterns and colors and like nothing too concrete. And I feel like the people who are receiving that is kind of like what's behind that gate. So it's coming from other levels, and then it's applied in this realm. And the application of the wisdom is as important as the reception of the wisdom. You just happen to be in that position of receiving the wisdom and then serving by sharing it, and then people can do with it what they want. That's not your responsibility. So also there's this invitation to just stay with what comes through yourself, and no need to take responsibility for what goes on. Like, you make the first move. You don't have to make the rest of the moves. Yes, again. So this is the crown chakra. And I feel this is kind of the energy that already came through this diagonal over here. So the crown chakra is connected to a higher perspective. And this comes when we are in silent mode. And maybe there is some energy within you that often calls you into that silent mode, and there's no need to change any of that. Also there you are making the first move. You take out that quiet time, you take out that quiet space, and you are bold in terms of overcoming fear of missing out and making that first move of staying connected to your truth and your path. Yes. And this is kind of a counterpart, I feel, to this, because this wisdom and all of that, it's, for me, this is the quality of light, and this is the quality of love. So we have love and light here. It says the divine atom, and it's the eternal being. And I feel this is the space in which she's gazing. This also seems connected to that. That actually, this is within your heart. So maybe there's for me, with the crown chakra, it feels like as soon as you bring that together, the crown chakra and the heart and this divine atom, this is how you gain your wisdom. And this is of service, and this wants to be guided back into the energy of the collective. Okay, we have 2 more left. So there's the archetype, the animal. And again, we have the eye. I feel this is very, there's so much going on with the vision and the higher vision here, vision in terms of seeing something. So I feel this one also speaks to that in terms of focusing on what you can see, and it might differ from what other people see. Remember this, other people are probably very much in the doing and what they need to do and all of that, and you have the eye and you're observing, and the animal is probably saying the animals. Okay, so when I walk through the woods, I rarely see the forest population, which is deer and birds and squirrels and some small snakes. And the animals, they can see us. They do see us, even though we don't see them. So it feels like you have this observing energy to you. And this is a gift, actually. And you are here to share that. And then we have mindfulness, and we have the flame in this portal of the hands. And there again, I feel this is about, so it's kind of connected with the crown and the heart energy. So being mindful means, I feel that this observing energy, that you can see what's going on, and you are a bit retreated because you are actually seeing what's going on within yourself, how it affects you. And you might even gain your wisdom that you own and have, and that comes through you by putting the observations you are doing with seeing other people engaging themselves and stuff, by putting that into relation to yourself, like what comes up within you when you observe people doing their stuff. And by observing that and by putting that into a context with your own perception, this is kind of this is like the staircase to your wisdom. And yeah, I feel this is the transmission for pile 3, and it is complete. So this is a very spacious and vast energy that you carry and that you're invited to put into service. So probably the reading could help a little to allow yourself to acknowledge these qualities, these features within yourself even more. And yeah, let go of the hierarchical energy and just trust that you're actually here to put those gifts into service. And serving, I feel it's a bottom-up energy. Even if, like your wisdom comes top-down, service is bottom-up. Yeah. All right. I, again, invite you to let that sink, let that simmer, sit with it for a while. It's just giving your system some food for contemplating, for observing. Maybe you can once again take stock of what has been going on within you the last couple of minutes when you listened to that, what came up. Where are you probably even tentatively already seeing these energies within you? Where are you probably like hiding from them a little, and why? And just see that as a dialogue. It's you're getting into contact with these energies. You can ask, like, put questions out there for those energies that you carry, and you are very connected. So allow yourself to use that and apply it to yourself as well. All right, so this is it for the I Spy with my little eye. And as always, I am curious to listen how those messages landed with you. And yeah, I wish you all the best. And thank you for the unique facet of light and unconditional love that runs through you. And thank you for sharing it with the collective in your own